Hey, what's up? EZOVERDOSE here. I'm going to show you a couple tricks to level up faster from 90 to 100 and from 96 to 100 really fast. So, you need to get your garrison unlocked first thing. So as soon as you hit 90, you should go do that. Even if it's an alt that you don't plan on playing and you're going to use this in the distant future, just go ahead and get the garrison unlocked. That way you're building up resources in your cache. That way when you do decide to level, you have enough resources in your cache to upgrade your garrison to level 3 when you do finally hit 100. You don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to farm for nothing. You're just stockpiled on garrison resources. You'll also need garrison resources to buy these items. So the item that you need is called the Excess Potion of Accelerated Learning. And if you're Alliance, you're going to get it from Deidre, who is the innkeeper. And in a level 1 garrison, she is right here outside of the mission place. In a level 2 garrison, she's inside the townhouse. If you're Horde, you're looking for Provisioner Rashma. I do not have a clip of her, but all you need to do for either of these is type /target and their name, and it will target them. If you can't find them, just right click on them on the target frame and set a raid marker on them, because it shows up through most walls. And if you still can't find them, go up to your mini map and click and set it to where it shows target, to where it's like puts a little button on your mini map of your target. So this item gives 20% XP. It's not a lot, but you gotta think 20% more XP means that you're going to get to 100 20% faster, or you're going to get wherever 20% faster. So this does stack with rest XP. So obviously, definitely level smart and use as much rest XP as possible. So I mean, if you have multiple tunes, get their garrisons unlocked, get the resources building. That way you can stockpile these things, play them, a couple hours here and there, burn off some rest XP, and then park them for a week. And it might take longer to get something to 100, but the amount of effort that goes into each character will be a lot less than trying to do this, like the 90 to 100 grind with no rest XP. So the next thing I'm going to tell you about is some of the Dark Moon stuff. So the Dark Moon Fair, it's here like once a month, and if you happen to be leveling a character while it's here, you can get another 10% XP. So you can get this two different ways. There's a carousel there that costs 1 ticket, and it gives you like a 10% buff, and it's for XP and reputation. Or you can buy the top hat, and it costs 10 tickets, and it also gives you 10%. Now these two do not stack with each other, so you can have one or the other, and either one stacks with everything else, but those two don't stack together. So if you're low on tickets and you don't want to do stuff to get tickets, you can do just 1 or 2 things to get 1 or 2 tickets, and then you can have 1 or 2 of hours of the Wii buff, the carousel ride buff. So you would obviously, get that buff, and then you would use your garrison hearth, and then you would, haul ass to wherever you were leveling, and use that hour wisely. You can also use the guild banners. Now, these aren't really a big deal. It's more like a waste of time, probably trying to figure out a good spot to use it, because it's a 100-yard range, and I think that's a lie. I'm pretty sure they despawn in less than 100 yards, and it just gives you 15% for killing monsters. So I mean, unless you're in a gigantic area of just huge monsters like everywhere, just thick spawns, it's probably not even worth bothering. But that's another thing. So now I'm going to move on to the 96 to 100 grind, and this is a little bit different. Before this, it didn't really matter where you went, what you did, just quest, kill stuff, whatever. But at 96, you should stop what you're doing, and you should go to your garrison, and you pick up the Spires of Iraq quest, and you head out there, and you do the chain, and the chain takes 20 or 30 minutes or something like that to get you down to, for Alliance, it's South Shore. I don't know if it's the same for Horde, but South Shore, you choose which one of the buildings that you want to build. You're going to have a choice between picking the Stocktron Brewery or the Smuggler's Den. The Stocktron Brewery gives you a passive 20% XP only in Spires of Arak. So you want to pick that, okay? And that stacks with the other 20% from the potion, which also stacks with the 10% from the Darkmoon Fair, which also stacks with your 200% rest XP. So at this point, you're getting, you know, a 50% multiplier on top of your rest XP, which is a 200% multiplier, so it's like times 250% XP. So doing this, if you have all rest XP, you can go 96 to 100 in 3 hours. Most people can do it in 3 hours with no breaks. That is assuming you've done the area once before and you kind of know where to go and what, you know, the quests are all about, and you're not hunting for stuff too long. So what I did on a couple of my characters already, and I'm doing it on another one, is I used the pet battle strategy to get to 96, or really close to 96, and then as soon as I hit 96, I come out to Draenor, and I head to Spires of Arak, and then I just boom, knock it out in a couple hours. So if you don't know what the pet battle strategy is, there will be a link in the description, and it is another guide of mine, and it's basically how to utilize the mop pet battle daily tamers to get player XP, pet XP, gold. Just you get a bunch of stuff for doing it. It takes probably 40 minutes to 50 minutes a day, and you get about at first at 90 you get almost a half of a level of player XP. You probably get like 46% player XP per day doing this in 40 minutes, and then when you're about like 96, you're probably getting about 30% player XP per day. And then you're also getting 3 pets to 24, 1 pet to 20. You're getting 11 bags. Inside of those 11 bags can be pets and rare stones and pet bandages and, you know, stuff like that, and just, you know, junk too. So you can do that and, you know, level up like really casually while power leveling some pets, and it'll take you, oh, it's probably 2 weeks. 2 weeks if you do it every day to hit 96 like that, from 90. And by that time, as long as you're checking your garrison cache, obviously you go out and unlock your garrison first before you start doing that, which I explained in the other video, and you'll have enough garrison resources to where when you get to this point, you know, as long as you're collecting them every like 2 or 3 days and not letting them cap out and just sit there, you'll have enough to buy plenty of potions, and then you should have plenty to upgrade your garrison to level 3 whenever you hit 100, depending on what you're going to use the character for, if that's even a big deal or not. So that's all the tips I got. Just to recap, get your garrison unlocked ASAP, so the garrison resources are building in the cache. Find your innkeeper, buy the accelerated learning potion. If the Darkmoon Fair is in town, make sure you're getting those top hats or those carousel buffs. When you hit 96, stop what you're doing, head out to Spires of Arak, do the quest chain until you hit the South Shore, and then pick the brewery as you're building, and then you'll be 120 to 50% faster than if you didn't do it this way. And once you've done it once and you know what to do, you can shave off that much more time doing it again if you're into making, you know, a bunch of alts. So one thing I forgot to mention until now, go and buy flasks and food for your class to maximize your damage. If you're a class that can't buff stats, buy the stats drums to where it's like it's 4% all stats. Buy the heroism drums if you're not a heroism class. If you have old DPS potions, like just burn those everywhere. Anywhere you're going to do like an AoE pull, just burn those things to get rid of them. Because remember, the faster you kill stuff, the faster you level. So all those stats count. And don't forget to do all the bonus objectives. Like, they should be priority as you're passing by them. Don't go out of your way to do them. Like, you're going to have a quest that's by them eventually. So just make sure that you're doing all of them. You'll know if you got all of them because you'll get an achievement. And they are marked on your map with like 2 swords or something. So can't miss them. Just keep an eye out for them and do them. So this footage that's been playing throughout the video that's like super fast forward, this is a 2-hour clip of me that I started the stopwatch after I got the brewery, and then like I popped the top hat and popped the potion, flask, food, everything, and then just went ham on quest, non-stop, no breaks, and I was like 96 and a half, I think, when I finally made it to that point, and went to 99 and 58% at 2 hours and 32 seconds. So if you're gonna strictly do this out here, probably gonna need 3 of them. Now I was playing a Frost DK, and it was like heroic and mythic geared from the previous X pack, so it's obviously leveled much faster than if you were like a squishier class and had to constantly heal up and whatnot and couldn't do just massive AoE pulls and spam, a victory rush type spell. So at this point, I didn't go get a third potion. What I did do is I went back to the garrison and grabbed the legendary ring quest and went ahead and did that. And I'm pretty sure that put me like 90 something percent. And then I just did one more dungeon because I knew I would need to get gear to do other stuff. So that's how I ended up completing 100 on this character. And that's all I got for this video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more stuff in the future.